8 minutes after 4 o'clock, it is Sport Talk WGOW, the Talk Monster Thursday. Doc Quake, Cowboy Joe. And if we got a special show for you, it is Merry Draftmas, is the way I heard it earlier today. It's the draft,
it's a
NFL draft tonight. Yes. And we've got Chattanooga quarterback, former Chattanooga quarterback. How about that? I'm going to start getting used to saying that. It's hard, B.J.
No, but he'll always be a mock.
That's true. That's right. B.J. Coleman in the house with us, and he got a great possibility of being drafted, and we're going to talk more in depth about that. But good to have you back on Sport Talk, B.J.
Guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Are you getting sleep?
Oh, man. maybe 4 or 5 hours a night.
But that's pretty good, though.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Let's start with our sports headlines and our 3 and out, and it's rare, but we start with hockey. Believe it or not,
it's very rare.
Mike Knuble on the game winner. Well, actually, he had the shot and the rebound was the game winner, but it's Caps, and he's the winger for the Washington Capitals.
Picked out to center ice, and we caught everybody in a change. They were assuming a puck's going in, and all of a sudden it's a hard rebound going back the other way. So, you come out of the pile and you can't believe what's that this is where you are on the ice right now. You got a 2-on-1, and I was carrying that thing right to the crease, and I was going to jam it in or something myself, one way or another. But Joel was smart. He didn't swing by the net, stops out front of the net, and picks up the trash. So, very happy for him.
And I'm sure the doctor followed all of that.
No, but I'll tell you, listening to that, knowing what's going on with the Predators and everything, and and I watch the Predators a little bit. Wouldn't you love to be a hockey fan though? If you're not, I mean that's what. Just listening to that guy talking about creases,
right?
And I'm doing this, and I'm going, I don't know what he's talking about, but it sounds good.
The crease is a little half moon circle in front of the net.
Man.
But I've told you this before. He was from Detroit. My wife grew up with him and still has she played goalie, still has a scar on her ankle where about 150 mile slap shot came between the
that guy?
her skate. Yeah, Mike Knuble. Wow. I said, get him on our show. Come on, Jay. What are you doing?
Got the hookup.
She's all Facebook friends with him and everything. I said, come on. Wow. Yeah. Get the man on our show. We're coming around with hockey in Chattanooga. What do you think?
Stuff.
Here's Kurt Rambis talking about how Kobe doesn't need a scoring title to solidify his legacy.
He showed everybody that he's actually turned back the hands of time. He looks so much fresher, has much more pop in his legs than I've seen in the last 5 years with him as a ball player. Coming in second doesn't show any different to me that whether he's a scoring champion or not.
And finally, Sean Payton of New Orleans Saints fame, and he talks about how he's going to get by without football.
There are going to be these moments like the draft or the start of the football season, the playoffs. There's certain points that will be, I think, difficult to deal with, but it's an opportunity for me to do a lot of other things that I have to take advantage of.
BJ, can you imagine being a football coach and them suspending you from the game for a year? He's not even allowed to talk with other football people. And who does he talk with? He just lives in a cave by himself? I mean, that's crazy.
And knowing BJ, it never should have happened. That stuff shouldn't happen. I mean, the bounties or whatever, that's been going on forever and ever, but if it's organized, and now they're saying players participated in it, that's scary.
I don't think it's the bounties that really got them.
The lying?
The lying. I mean, the NFL told them multiple times, hey, don't do it. And they're like, all right, buddy, fingers crossed. It's one of those deals.
B.J. Coleman, our guest, and we'll take a quick break. But just overall, no specifics, but how many teams have you talked with out of the 32 NFL teams in, let's say, the past week and a half, 2 weeks?
Probably the past week, I've probably talked about 25 teams wanting to confirm, contact information on draft day and wanting to talk to you and just see how things are going and, get ready to go for the show. So, I've talked to about 25 clubs.
Fantastic. B.J. Coleman, our special guest.
I guarantee if you're on Kuiper's radar, then you're on everybody's radar. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, has Mel Kiper ever called you?
I have not talked to Mel directly.
The helmet hair. Coming right back, more with B.J. Coleman, our special guest this afternoon. We'll get into just what's going on in his life. And today, of course, the NFL draft starts. Possibility of it being B.J.'s day would probably be possibly tomorrow, mostly probably Saturday.
That's right. That's right.
Is that right? Because so they go round 2 and round 3 on Friday night.
But you'll probably be an interested observer tonight, I would think.
Absolutely. I want to see who flies where. It's going to set this thing up.
Sport Talk returns. Your right now traffic coming up with Sean Paul. That's during the break as well. It's the Talk Monster 102.3. 4:18 in Sport Talk WGOW Thursday. We can't thank you enough for listening to the Talk Monster 102.3. Doc Quake, Cowboy Joe. B.J. Coleman in the house with us. Of course, if you haven't heard his name in the last 3 years, well, you're not much of a sports fan. How about that, B.J.?
You just moved here.
You just moved here. Welcome to Chattanooga. There you go. Great opportunity for you this weekend. You from all kinds of projections, and I was telling you during the break there, I've seen 6 full mock drafts that went the whole 7 rounds, and you were at 6 different teams. I mean, it's just that random, and that's pretty much what I'm sure your agent has told you, hey, you just sit back and relax, right?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, too, when teams look at a guy like myself, this is a guy who's green. He's going to be a guy coming in ready to learn, eager to learn, got a good work ethic, somebody with measurables, 6'3", 230 pounds, can move well in the pocket. And I think they see what they want to see. It's just a matter of when they're interested in going after somebody like that, maybe a project guy who's, hey, we're going to have to sit down and work with him, and we feel like he can be our guy here in a couple of years.
What also was funny about those mocks, and it was everybody, it was stuff that they read somewhere. You could tell they read it somewhere else and then just transcribed it into their own words and regurgitated it. You were 6'5", 200 on a lot of them, 6'5", really? 220. And I'm thinking, yeah, you hadn't seen him lately though. He's put on some weight. It looks good. I mean, that's just the kind of stuff I think where it just, and we know how the media business works. It kind of feeds on its own and it gathers like a rolling stone down the hill type of thing sometimes. Yeah. So talk about some of the other guys when you went to Combine. I know your pinky was broke or whatever, so you didn't get to throw. But I'm sure you met some of these guys that are going to be drafted tonight, right?
Absolutely. I had a chance to sit down. Actually, RG3 was in my group, so he didn't throw. He chose not to throw as well at the Combine, so we kind of got to sit and talk for about 30 minutes while that whole section was going.
He seems sharp.
Very sharp guy. I think he's going to do excellent at the next level. But for anybody coming in as a rookie, even really your first 3 years, you look at what Eli's done from his first half of his career to now. You got 2 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. It really takes time to develop. So, it's a process, and these guys are excellent. All these guys have put in their time and their effort, and they have great resumes coming off of college lists, right. And it's all about, does your game fit in the NFL style of play? A lot of times you're not going to be able to break pocket because you're going to have a defensive end that can run just as fast as your running back or your receiver. So, when you break pocket and if you get away, there will be somebody there to hit you. So, you have to be ready to distribute the football and be able to throw the ball.
How's your injury? Good? Excuse me, quick. It's good? Everything good?
Everything's great with the hand. I actually went back to Indianapolis for the recheck at the Combine, and everything went excellent. The doctors, some of them looked at me and go, really? We brought you back? This is fine. You're good to go. So, my strength is completely back. I'm spinning the football just how I wanted to. Probably a little bit better than the previous. My hand's actually a little bit bigger because my pinky broke and it
spread out
a little bit. So that was good. But
that's weird.
It's the Tommy Johns for football players. Right?
Yeah, there you go.
That was the plan.
Tell us about Hattiesburg. What? You were down there a long time.
Down there a long time. Hattiesburg is a really cool place.
For the folks who may not know, Buzz Cook is your agent, and has been and still is agents to some of the great, really Southern football players mostly, but quarterbacks, namely Steve McNair, Brett Favre. Who else does he have?
He has Cam Newton. He has Jay Cutler. He's got Calvin Johnston at the wide receiver position, Mike Wallace at the wide receiver position.
Pretty good ones.
Bus does a really good job. Bus does a really good job. He and I are very similar. Cowboy boots, jeans type guy. You can hang out with him and eat ribs and hang out, and he's that kind of guy. But down in Hattiesburg was great. It was great. Worked out at just a local high school, nothing flashy. We woke up every morning at 6 a.m., went to work, and did it.
We being the crew of.
We had about 6 or 7 other guys, a couple of Southern Miss cats that are actually down in Hattiesburg. We had a DB from UAB, a DB from Kentucky, Danny Trevathan, and myself. And
these are all players that signed with him?
These are all players that were with him.
Gotcha.
And we actually, all went through this thing together, and we actually had some current NFL players in there as well. There's a couple D tackles. Eugene Sims plays DN for the Rams. There's Jarrell Poe, come from Ole Miss, plays for Kansas City. He worked out with us every day. And a D tackle from the Saints. I can't remember his name, but just watching those guys work, me being affiliated with them, it made me better, no doubt. And then we got to work with Brett. So Favre was great. That was an awesome experience. And
what kind of pointers does a Brett Favre give B.J. Coleman?
Brett is a
when you get in trouble, just throw it up.
Yeah. BJ, you see that window? Just put it right there.
Yeah.
Brett, that's 60 yards away. It's okay. Put it right. No, but he still can sling it, and he's a great guy. But we're a little bit different in terms of quarterback, so I would try to learn that side of the game. You can tell Aaron Rodgers has watched him. And things break down, make something happen with your feet, get the football out of your hand. If you got to throw it away, live to play another down. So, I was really focused and listening in on that. Whereas, maybe a guy like Peyton, he's going to be maybe more in tune to the X's and O's and get the ball out of your hand. And maybe he can't do that scrambling as much as a Brett Favre or an Aaron Rodgers, but he's going to get the football out of his hand to compensate for that.
With the style that you have, though, it seems like you would there you go. It seems like you would have not going to run away like, Vince Young or a Michael Vick speed. So being able to take 3 little stutter steps up into the pocket or left or right like Aaron Rodgers does and kind of hit a little quick pass on the run, I mean, that's what it's all about, right?
That's huge. It's huge. You got to be able to buy time. And Coach Cutcliffe always used to say you got to make the other 10 guys better. So case in point, if your left tackle misses or he pushes that guy by you, be able to slide up, slide left, give him a chance to revamp and take over that block again.
It's not a 40-yard time, it's slide.
Exactly. And those guys are going to get beat too. Those defensive ends are just as good, if not better, athletes than those tackles, and vice versa. There's going to be times the tackle man handles the end and vice versa. So you got to be able to take up and know where your reads are, know the defenses, find the holes, drop the football down if you have to, and make the chains move.
At any point during this whole process leading up to today and this weekend, did you ever get a taste of what the terminology of the NFL is or their kind of playbook compared to what you were doing at UTC?
UTC, it was very similar. A lot of this stuff is very similar. We were in 21 personnel, which for those who don't know, 21 is 2 backs, 1 tight end, a flanker, and an X receiver, which is like that's your true wide receiver, your Jerry Rices, your Calvin Johnsons.
Man.
And then your flankers are your Wes Welkers and your inside slot receivers. And we were in a lot of that personnel and the run action and the play action pass and the drop back pass, the 3-step, 5-step, 7-step drops. A lot of college football teams nowadays are in the spread offense where they're going to be in the shotgun. They're 4 wide. They have a lot of people in motion. They're trying to exploit and spread defenses out. Where in the NFL, the NFL can go 3 down with their defensive linemen and spread out as well. So, you got to be able to run the football downhill, also be able to throw it over their heads when you have to. So being able to be in that same type of offense that we had here at Chattanooga, I think it's going to be really good for me, and the experiences that I had here, I think will carry over.
267-1023. If you folks have a question or comment for BJ, we'd love to hear from you. 267-1023, and you're more than welcome to call. Your time at Tennessee, obviously you kind of had to change, and people would always ask me, well, if he always wanted to play for the Vols, then why didn't he stay there? It's like, you got to understand that this is kind of a business, more than fans really want to admit. And when you see a decision that you feel in your heart is the right decision, you got to go for it. So, but you did get some SEC experience. How were you able to kind of take that with the experience in the Southern Conference, which in my opinion is the best FCS level conference, and then be able to do what you're doing?
Yeah, it's a great question.
Do you just soak it all in and try and disseminate as it goes?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I did get to see SEC football. I've seen the best conferences from both divisions, 1AA, 1A. And I think the biggest difference is it's not really that huge of a gap. I mean, you've seen App State's beat the Michigans, and you've seen James Madison, I think, beat Virginia Tech 2 years ago.
Is it depth, numbers?
Yeah, it's going to be depth. I think your front guys are a little bit different. Yeah. Your D line and your offensive line are that's a little bit different. But really, I think scheme plays a huge role in 1AA. A lot of times you'll see in the SEC they let players play. Put your best on best man-to-man coverage. It's really not. I mean, if your guy beats this guy, throw him the football, he can score. In this league, you're going to see roll coverages, and you're going to see, weak side blitzes, zone blitzes, man blitzes, 3-down schemes, 4-down schemes. I mean, you're going to see a lot of things so that you can try and get confused. And I think I can take a lot of that film that I've got down here, and actually, to be honest with you, I've got a little bit of facts behind it. Coach Clausen came from Richmond when he was at UT. And I know Dave wasn't too creditable and didn't do a great job at UT, but extremely smart. And he told me the first thing he said, up here it's a lot more simplistic. He said when we were at Richmond, we would do things and give the quarterback, 3 plays at the line and, have to swap it up. I think that's just strictly based on how the fronts and coverages, are in the FCS. So, it's been a great experience. I've seen a lot of different offenses. I've seen a lot of different defenses. So now it's just time to go up there and help it, let it carry over.
Who taught you how to watch film? Was it Coach Potter at Macaulay, or was it? I'm talking about to the level that it's going to take in the NFL.
I think to the level it's going to take, I'd say Coach Cutcliffe.
And you got to like to do it.
Oh, it's tough. Anybody can go in there and turn on a football game and for 4 hours watch it.
You're not getting popcorn and sitting back and all that stuff.
You're watching the slide fronts. You're watching the movement of the D tackles. And you can't watch it all at once. You can't just run through the film one time, 2 hours, okay, I'm done. It takes 20, 30 hours a week to make sure that you properly have what you need to go into the game. I think preparation is huge. That's why Peyton, has done so well. Tom Brady has done so well. John Elway has done so well, because you got to go in. Maybe you watch the same game 5 times, because the first time you're going to watch the offense, the second time you're going to watch the front, third time you watch the linebacking group, see what they do, see who makes a call, see if you can catch any signals. Maybe you watch the secondary and see how they roll, see if the front matches with the secondary. What blitzes can they bring out of these fronts, and there's going to be a lot of different things. What are your personnel? Which corner's better, the right or the left? Where do we want to attack? Who do you want to match Joel up on? Who do you want to match this receiver up on? We against Nebraska, they were man coverage. So we went 5 wide, put Joel in the slot, and let him and the linebacker run with one another. And that really helped us out huge, because Joel could make that guy miss.
Right.
At that point, we had found a mismatch. Whether it be Nebraska or Appy State, it's the same thing. You try to find mismatches wherever you go.
And I have a headache. I don't see how you do it, man.
And I know you've watched this stuff, and we talked about it with Jacob Terrell when they were on here, the Gruden camp on TV.
Sure.
It's entertaining to us. What was it like to you to watch that?
Oh, I knew the guys, so that was cool to see those guys doing it. But I think the biggest thing is that stuff is great. That stuff is really good. But that I think there's a whole lot more that goes into it.
It's reality.
Exactly.
That's what
there's going to be a lot more that goes into it. Coach Gruden does a great job.
And he's trying to be funny too.
He's trying entertaining. To be funny. Oh yeah,
that show doesn't
it's TV.
Fly if it's not
exactly. You can't sit in there and really do cut up film, and it's not always roses and smiles in a film room. But it's a good show. It's fun to watch.
What is a system quarterback?
I think sometimes if you
or is that just a term that
fans use?
Yeah.
Sometimes I think it's a term, but I also too there are guys that maybe don't have the measurables or the credentials or the intangibles to maybe move on, or sometimes you got a guy that's got unbelievable intangibles. But at the same time, the help that you had around you in college, the style of offense that you're running, that's the spread offense really opens up a lot of things. It allows you to throw to what I call zones instead of actually throwing a man open. And you're throwing to a spot in a spread offense.
And Spurrier just owned that in the 90s.
Oh, no doubt. Danny Warfel.
Yeah,
that is the absolute greatest example you could probably use, just because – and look at what Warfel did at the next – he just wasn't a fit at that level. Throwing wasn't his forte. It was the fact that he had legs, and when you can run the football, defenses have to prepare for that. Well, at the NFL, all those boys run 4-4 and 4-5 on the defense.
Can you explain – and I'm not downgrading these individuals, but we were talking a little bit yesterday. Look at what Alabama's done with this dynasty under Saban. They just recruit. Yet they don't seem to be able to get that big-name quarterback that the NFL wants. Is that the system? They don't need that because they got the great runners. They got – what is it? If they ever got one, God help us all.
I don't know if you guys have been watching, but when I watch Alabama, first thing I think of is defense.
I
think that's the biggest thing.
And direct snap to Trent Richardson, and they're still getting it done. 7 yards a clip.
So. Yeah, they're great up front. And their quarterbacks have been excellent. I think.
And I'm not saying they're not good.
McElroy has been an awesome manager of a game. I think McCarron is probably their next up and coming big guy. I thought
McCarron's best game of his career was the championship.
It was the championship game, so he's getting better continuously. So
they had a great game plan, and he went out there next game.
And again, it goes back to defense. I think that their defense is their best offense, and I think that's kind of been the story with them.
When you have a great defense, you can gamble a little bit more as a quarterback too, can't you?
That's right. They'll go get it back for you.
Sport Talk, B.J. Coleman, our special guest. Of course, he will be drafted. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'll be the one to break the ice. He will be drafted this weekend at some point in time in the NFL draft, so your phone calls are welcome. Charlie, we got to take a quick break, but you'll be first out of the gate when we return. It is Sport Talk. Doc Quake, Cowboy Joe. A look at your weather forecast from Storm Track 9's Bill Race, brought to you by Tom's 4x4 Superstore, Jeep, truck, or diesel. Check out Tom's 4x4 Superstore. Huge selection of aftermarket accessories in stock and full-service 4x4 and diesel repair shop. Save thousands at Tom's 4x4 Superstore, 702-5777, 702-5777, or find them online at toms4x4superstore.com. Tonight, clear, low near 60, partly cloudy, isolated showers possible tomorrow, highs near 80. That's Storm Track 9's Bill Race. And by the way, the other team that I was forgetting was the one that just called you, by the way. That was another mock draft they had. It's the Talk Monster. Pause for the cause. WGOW and your Sean Paul right now. Traffic on the way.
Fair value market pricing at Kelly Quality Pre-Owned can save you thousands on gently used, nearly new cars. Downtown, 153 at Shallowford and at kellycars.com. Kelly Cars, home of the money-back guarantee.
Watch for crews out with several crashes for our Thursday afternoon drive. Eastbound Interstate 24 at 4th Avenue, westbound Interstate 24 at 4th Avenue.
You really girl, the thing I wear, you ever care for me.
437.
You did refuse.
Sport Talk, WGW, Doc Quake, Cowboy Joe. It's the Talk Monster. B.J. Coleman in the house with us, and, of course, he is former Chattanooga Mock quarterback and soon to be drafted in this weekend's NFL draft.
And I know BJ's very calm and collected right now, but have you even thought about what happens when you get that call?
Oh man, I've all I know is from what Buster has told me, and he said,
Buster Screen, of course, former teammate, plays for the Browns.
That's
now.
right. He went through this process last year, and he said, "Beej, I'm not someone who really gets emotional and sheds tears." He said, "But I'll tell you what, when everybody starts crying around you, man," he said, it gets pretty emotional.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
If you don't get emotional, then you're a dead person.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, you really are.
I'd be crying right now. I mean,
you're gonna cry right
when
now.
Marley and me ended, man, I was bad. So I couldn't imagine anything like this.
You're better than me because I didn't watch the end of it. I left.
Yeah, I heard it was bad. I didn't even go to the movie.
I went and I left. I knew what was going to happen.
267-1023. So now, with all these nicknames, RG3, we just call you BJC. Is that what we're supposed to call you?
There you go.
Charlie, welcome to Sport Talk and Talk Radio. Charlie, how are you?
Good afternoon, gentlemen. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, I can't remember his name. I know it's Houston. Where do you want to go?
Where what now?
Are you talking about B.J. Coleman?
Yeah, B.J. Coleman.
We asked him that same question, and it's not a question of where you want.
Yeah, that's right. It's
how do you answer that question?
What did you say? You wanted a uniform.
That's right. I just want a uniform. I'll go anywhere in the draft. Just get a shot and an opportunity to go play for a team.
Okay. Well, let me ask Doc a question. Doc, I don't know what level UTC is on. I know it's an A, B. What level is that?
It's called FCS.
FCS.
Football Championship Subdivision, because they have a tournament, a playoff.
Okay. How many quarterbacks have made it to the pros from that kind of level?
Well,
Flacco's the first one.
That's a fair question.
Stands out in my mind.
Tony Romo.
There are more than you would probably think.
I'm trying to think of the active ones now.
Because there's more and more.
Romo.
I think Caller and BJ, there are more transfers now.
Mm-hmm.
You see this happening more and more. Talented quarterbacks transferring down.
That's right.
To get playing time and to be happy.
Right. Well, all right. Y'all answer my question.
Thank you. And they'll find you. I guarantee
they will find
you. Talent cannot be hidden.
That's right.
No, you see, especially you watch a Monday night game or a Sunday game, when they give the roster, it's amazing how many UTCs or how many, Delawares, how many of those teams are on that roster.
Mm-hmm. It's usually Eastern Washington. They're big with the red field. That's the red field.
Yep.
How about McNair?
McNair, there you go. McNair, certainly. He's probably the best.
Bradshaw.
What did you say?
Well, no, but Bradshaw, that's Division I.
Yeah,
he was
Louisiana Tech.
Now, the big one is Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Rice came out, I think, of a Division II school.
Yeah, Mississippi Valley State.
So it's there. If you can do it, they'll find you.
All you need is that chance.
That's right.
Just that one chance.
Armani Edwards, is he not a receiver for
Armani
the Panthers?
Edwards, the Citadel, had one from a receiver. Was it Andre Roberts?
Yeah.
Receiver for the Arizona Cardinals now. You got the Cortez Allen from Pittsburgh, who's a cornerback. But there's not as many, I would say, quarterbacks, but there are a bunch of
Dexter
players.
Coakley, he was all-pro for the Cowboys. He went to Appalachian State.
I'm sitting here trying to figure out this living room now when it happens. Okay.
The Coleman house.
What would all right, you get,
BJ
I tried to get Mom on the show tonight.
Really? I wish she'd have come.
I tried so hard. She said, I can't do that. I said, Ma, they'd love to hear the life of how to groom a Coleman.
You're going to get a call minutes before it happens on TV.
Correct.
For us.
Correct.
So,
I'll get a call probably 2 or 3 minutes before.
So
the
you
pick.
hang up and you say, it's so-and-so. I got to pack my bags. Is that what I mean? What do you do?
Well, they'll call. I'll probably be on the phone when they announce the name. Once the whole announcement happens, they usually will fly you out. Probably that next week, Wednesday or Thursday. There's a mini camp the following weekend.
Wow.
I think Wednesday is the rookie symposium in California. So all the rookies who are drafted are required to go to that. They'll fly you out, and then I'll be back home that following Sunday. For about a week and a half. Then May 18th, I'll report for summer workouts and OTAs on the field activities, and I'll be there till June 18th. And then after June 18th, I'll be home for the whole month, for the last couple weeks of June, and then the month of July. And then I'll report for camp, and I'll be there for the duration.
Man, it's happened fast, hasn't it?
And it's
it seems like you just were here getting
That's right.
Coca-Cola Red Zone Player of the Year from Macaulay, and then all of a sudden now we're talking about the NFL draft.
Well, also too. The scouts and all the players have warned all the rookies when they come in. There is a rookie wall because a lot of guys, when they finish their junior year of college football, they all get excited about the senior year. Everybody really works hard that summer. They play their senior season. As soon as the senior season's over, they got an agent. As soon as they get an agent, they're training. As soon as the training and the combine and stuff's done, the draft. As soon as the draft's done, OTAs. As soon as OTAs are done, you got camp. As soon as camp's done, you got a season, which is double the college season. If you make it to the Super Bowl, you play 24 games, 4 preseason, 16 regular, 4 if you make it to the Super Bowl. So you're playing 24 games now. You're going to be going from the last day of your junior year all the way to the February after your rookie season.
All right. I've always wanted to ask this question. If you no comment me, I don't care.
I plead the fifth.
It's not going to be that tough, but it's just something I've always wondered. You get the telephone call, right?
Okay.
It's the Bobcats or whoever they are. You hang up the phone, and they tell you to be here, to be there, to be there. Do they pay for that? Do you get an advance from a scout from your agent? How does that work?
Well, the team will fly you in, or first off, team
what
will
about
take
money? How much money has BJ got in his hip pocket when he takes off?
Hey, I knew that was coming up.
But I don't know how it works.
He needs a loan, BJ.
Well, I don't know how it works.
Actually,
because you're a professional.
To date, because of the new what happened, there was a new rookie cap that's been put in now, and everything's kind of already pre-negotiated. There's really not that much negotiation that goes on between agents and teams and GMs and now. Last year was that first what you saw with Cam Newton and them. That's set. So this year's number 1 pick, Andrew Luck, can't make more than what Cam Newton made initially.
Exactly.
Just as it's the same contract. So right now, if for some reason you had a crystal ball, you closed your eyes, boom, B.J. Coleman's going here and here. That pick's actually already on the computer, and you can look that up, and it tells you how much that pick will make, signing bonus, and then I think the base salary's $375,000.
But you don't have it yet. See, my point is, and they call me, I'm busted. I can't go anywhere.
You say I can't afford to go to the
Look,
OTA.
y'all got to send me something. Is that?
Oh yeah, they'll take care of you. They'll set you up to get you out there, and then once you get all settled and you've signed the papers and the contracts and everything's settled, 7 days, post all the signing and stuff, you'll have, your respected, I guess, earnings, and then
have some kind of egg. Some kind. We got to have some money, don't we, Joe?
Eggs.
Got to.
I need more eggs.
Listen to you guys. You got to have milk, baby.
I couldn't get to Memphis. How am I going to get there?
I can hear you now, Doctor. Well, my car just broke down. I can't get there.
Yeah.
Can we talk to Reverend before we break here? The Reverend, welcome to Sport Talk and Talk Radio. Say hi to B.J. Coleman, Reverend.
Hey, good afternoon, fellas. Hi, BJ. Never got to meet you personally, brother, but I work pretty close to one of your old coaches from Macaulay, Andy Smith. He says you're the real deal, and I wish you all the luck in the world, man. Got to watch you play a couple of times there when you was at the University of Chattanooga.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Andy's great. He's got a, I know Andy through McCauley. He's got a little boxing gym downtown. He's top notch.
He's an assistant Olympic coach.
Listen, I don't know if you could answer this, but like when you were at the combines and working out down in Hattiesburg, is there agents that will come up, or scouts, I guess, from not agents, but scouts that would come up from different teams to say if you're still on the board in the 5th or the 4th round, we're really looking at you? Or how does that really work? Or is any team really reached out and said, if you're still there, we're wanting to call on you?
Well, it's kind of like a poker game, to be honest with you. They're not going to show their hand, almost,
They want to establish contact.
Absolutely.
All of them.
And a lot of teams won't even really show too much interest in you if they are really interested in you. Like, if a team is looking, I heard a story, just from a scout that was up at the combine who was at Denver, and he said we never once we were not at Jay Cutler's pro day. We didn't talk to him, nothing, and they picked him, I think, with the 6th overall pick in the draft. And
amazing.
The biggest thing is they want to hold their cards close because there's other competitors. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I don't want the Pittsburgh Steelers knowing because they're in my division. So they're gonna try to cover up their hands. You're not going to really cover
close in
up
proximity where you draft too.
Well, yeah, but you're not going to cover up an Andrew Luck or an RG3.
No.
But a guy like B.J. Coleman, a guy like Sean Louiso, a linebacker out of Merrimack College up in Boston, those guys are not going to be. You can try to hide those a little bit because they are a little bit under the radar, and they're trying to really let's keep that close to my chest because we might be slide in there and grab him when we want.
It's like
they don't want
middle
somebody
school dating
that drafts before them to say, what do they see in B.J. Coleman that we
Absolutely.
didn't? Maybe we better go take another look.
Yeah.
They see some film. And they grab him before.
That's how it works.
Real quick question, guys, before I jump off here. One more question for BJ. Did you happen to get to work with Wiedemann and all from Oklahoma State? And if you have or got to see him in the combines or work out, is he comparable to Luck and RG3, you think? And I'll hang up and listen. God bless y'all.
Thank you, Reverend. He's in love with us.
He is.
Well, Brandon is a great kid. I got to sit down actually and talk with him at dinner one night, and he and I we hit it off. He's married, but he is 28 years old. He's an older guy, and you
Play
can tell.
baseball first.
Yep.
He'll be 29 pretty soon.
Yeah, and you can tell. He's been through that maturity level. He's an extremely mature guy. Can really throw the football. I don't really. When it gets into the comparing things, I really don't do that. I don't. RG3 and Andrew, have been kind of spotted and slotted as those 1 and 2 guys, and I'm pulling for Brandon. I hope he goes as high as he possibly can, and and as all those guys should.
He'll be
those
drafted.
Guys have worked. Oh yeah,
I mean, there's no doubt.
No doubt.
And then it's up to him.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter where you drafted; it's up to you.
That's right.
All that posturing you were talking about with the teams and don't want to give away too much. I was about to say, it kind of reminds you of middle school dating, where the guy doesn't just walk up to the girl and go, "Hey, you're attractive. I like you. Can we go out?" You just hit her with a spit wad from across the room and turn your head and act like you didn't do anything right.
Or punch her in the shoulder.
They want you to know you're there, but they don't necessarily want to tell you anything.
There you go. There you go.
And I don't think kind of the Reverend doesn't understand, or he should, but with the exception of Luck and RG, everybody else is looking at a guy that's already a starter. All these teams have probably got, Miami might not be, but I thought Moore played pretty good there toward the end anyway. But, you're getting there trying to win a job.
That's right.
These first 2, they're going to give them the job.
Right, pretty much.
It's everybody. I don't care whether you draft in 2nd round or 7th.
Doesn't matter. You got to you want to fall to the team that you got the best opportunity with.
You got to get a little lucky.
Absolutely.
B.J. Coleman, our special guest here. Pause for the cause. Simon, you'll be right out of the gate when we return. It's the Talk Monster, 102.3, and your Sean Paul. Right now, traffic on the way. Sport Talk, WGOW.
I'm all shook up.
It's Sport Talk, WGOW, and your Storm Track 9 Bill Race forecast. Brought to you by Delta Dental. Here's something to smile about. With Delta Dental coverage, you have access to the state's largest network of dentists. It's how they do dental better. For other ways they'll keep you smiling, visit online at deltadentaltn.com. Clear tonight, lows near 60 and partly cloudy. Isolated showers possible tomorrow. Highs in near 80 degrees. So there you go. B.J. Coleman, our special guest. And we got Simon on the line. Welcome to the Talk Monster and Sport Talk, Simon.
Yeah, I'm hoping you guys can hear me. I might lose you, but
we can hear you.
Quick comment. early in last Pee Wee football, Scenic City League football, B.J. came out to address the East Hamilton Titans, who ended up taking their age division in the championship. And I'll be honest with you, even though our son's been brainwashed to be a Peyton Manning fan, B.J. Coleman is the first quarterback that comes out of his mouth. We went to go watch him several times. Actually, up even in Knoxville when he was there, now in Chattanooga. But really from just deep down from my heart, I want to say thank you for the impact you've made in my son's life just by showing up and being a positive role model. And I certainly hope that that's a trend that I have no doubt will continue as your professional career goes on. And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you, Simon. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me, man.
And I know every time you get a chance, then you can do things like that. You've always stepped out there and done that.
I love that stuff.
You love the youth camps, the whole thing.
I do it all. Everything I can be a part of, I try to. My mom's a principal, so I've been around the kids, and I love doing that stuff. And I think it's important because I remember being young and looking up at guys, who played for McCallie or UTC or guys like Peyton Manning,
and when they don't pay attention to you, you don't forget that either.
That's exactly right. You do as much as you can. Sometimes you can't do it all, but you try to do what you can.
Simon, what else, sir?
Good luck.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
That's the best. Awesome. That's the best part of the day, right there.
That's awesome. Talk about your high school coach, Ralph Potter. Has come back now. He went to Brentwood Academy for a little while. Now he's back at McCallie. How much that guy, not necessarily a football standpoint, but just as a man, influenced your life? And I know he's kind of a mentor of yours, right?
Oh, he's phenomenal. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Coach Potter was the one who started this thing, and after obviously my parents, but when I got into high school and got to be a part of the type of person that he is and how he runs his ball club. I mean, it's a phenomenal deal. Coach Potter is more than just a football coach. He's somebody that us past football players still talk about this day. He keeps in touch, with his past players very, very, very often. We played golf with him, a couple weeks ago, and
back in McCallie.
He's excellent. I mean, I really can't say enough about Coach Potter. Honestly, I think I'd do it an injustice if I did. I mean, it's one of those things where I really don't have to even say that much. Right. He's one of those guys, when he walks into a room, he's there, and, everybody kind of just, slowly gets quiet, and, he takes it over real quickly.
You guys had this lineage of quarterbacks there. Gosh, I don't know where it started. Penn Garvick, Ryan Moore.
Started Will Thomas, then it went Penn Garvick, then you had Ryan Moore, myself, and then I think was it Keenan Rush?
Yep.
I think Keenan
All
Rush.
Right, you got to settle the argument then I had an argument with Jacob Huseman.
Okay.
You never lost to Baylor.
Never.
Who were the quarterbacks that you beat? Romans would have been one of them.
We had my very first year was Stansel, I think. Britton Stansel.
That'll work.
Before Britton was Willie Idlet. Ryan beat him, and Penn beat him as well. But the teams that we played from Baylor had an excellent football.
Oh, I guarantee
all
you.
3
you beat
years.
Some good players now.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, as far as the QBs,
no doubt. No doubt that Baylor had an excellent football. All 3 years we played them, they had excellent football teams.
267-1023. We've got Sean from Eastridge, the legend himself.
Oh yeah.
Welcome to the Talk.
Hey, buddy.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
Good deal.
I've got my Bear stuff on, ready for the NFL draft, and hoping you're going to the Bears. And your buddy, the wide receiver, I want him to go too.
Hey, if we could go as a tandem, you think that'd be okay with you?
Oh yeah, man.
All right.
Oh yeah.
No, man, excellent, Sean. Everything been going well, buddy?
Yeah, it has, man. And
Good.
thank you for signing that autograph and him too.
Oh, no problem, bud. We're from Eastridge. We're from right there in your neck of the woods, buddy. Wouldn't have it any other way.
All right.
Thank you, Sean.
See you, buddy.
Now, what about that? Okay, they play high school together, college together, and then the same pro team. I mean, come on, that's a little too much.
Hey, listen now.
I don't know.
Never say never.
Has it?
It's happened.
B.J. Coleman, our special guest. Can you hang for another 30 minutes or so?
I'm here.
Fantastic. It's WGOW-FM, Soddy Daisy, Chattanooga, Doc Quake, Cowboy Joe. Don't forget, 6:05, Mr. Mike Jenkins going to stop by and talk about First Tee Golf Hour with us. Got us a couple special guests, and we're going to have some fun. New Orleans and Bubba Watson is back on track, right?
My gosh, I watched an interview with Bubba, and what a character. Man, he was wilder than a Georgia pine. He couldn't shut up, and I mean, he's something different.
You think you could outdrive him, BJ?
I think I could outdrive him.
Atta baby. I love the confidence.
Can you beat Will Healy, though? That's the key.
No.
Where did he get this reputation?
Coach Healy can hit a golf ball now, no doubt.
We heard him play basketball, too.
Yeah, I'd just foul him.
That's what Thomas Brown said, too. Sport Talk coming right back. WGOW. It's the Talk Monster.
Need some exercise? Hike up the hill to AT&T Field or take the escalator. The Lookouts are at home. For more information, go to lookouts.com.
Streaming worldwide
24/7.
Click on WGOW.com. Talk Radio 1.
Eight minutes after 5, it is Sport Talk, WGOW. Doc Wake, Cowboy Joe, our special guest, B.J. Coleman, hanging with us. Hey, he's going to get drafted in the NFL here in the next 48 hours or so.
This will be the last time we see him in a while. He'll big
Don't
time
say
us.
that now. Don't say that.
I still think he's got some money.
He's trying to pry it out of you, BJ.
Listen at him.
What are you driving out there?
Oh, stop now.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Did you check the parking lot?
No, but I will.
Maybe it's
It's the third parking spot Lamborghini on the left.
What did Meredith have in here yesterday? A Belvedere?
64 Belvedere.
It's probably not a 64 Belvedere.
No, it's not.
That thing started up,
We
though.
go from top to bottom, don't we?
Pretty surprised. All right, here's our 3 and out for the 5 o'clock hour. It starts with what will be the number 1 pick tonight as the Indianapolis Colts choose Andrew Luck. And here's what he has to say about when he gets that call from the Colts.
It was pretty recently, to be honest. I don't remember the day. Somewhere around a week ago, and got a call, and it was exciting. I think what matters is that I'm going to be on the Colts, and that's what's exciting about it. That's what's exciting for me, and I'm just looking forward to the opportunity.
He got that call early because they already nailed him down as the number 1, and the Redskins have already nailed Robert Griffin III down as the number 2. So basically, the Vikings are on the clock right now.
And they've really, and I heard this term, I borrowed it. They now have the number 1 pick.
Yeah,
that's right. Isn't that interesting?
Right.
Those two are gone. They're number 1 now.
Todd McShay, ESPN draft analyst, talking about how the Browns are better off not drafting Trent Richardson.
If the Browns, the scenario we talked about before, if the Browns wind up, a team jumping ahead of them to go get the running back, and they get Justin Blackmon, the wide receiver, then at 22, they can go get Doug Martin. And I think that's a better combination if you look at it with Blackmon and Martin compared to maybe Trent Richardson and Kendall Wright.
Todd McShay proving that once you talk too much, then you start saying stupid things.
I agree with
Whoever's got Trent Richardson in a combo has got the best deal. That guy's awesome.
He is awesome.
He's different.
He helps the quarterback out big time.
And I'm not saying anything against Boise State or anything, but that guy he's different.
Here's Mike Lombardi, another guy, this one from the NFL Network, saying that he is not a fan of your boy Upshaw from Bama.
He's not my boy.
Courtney Upshaw doesn't have a position, and I think that's the real issue. I think he's a really physical football player. He can set the edge in college football, but in the pro game, if you can play outside linebacker at a 34, he's going to have to drop. If he doesn't drop, and I hear all this rhetoric, outside linebackers, they can rush all the time. That's called a 52 defense. That's what they play in high school.
Same thing they said about Dwight Freeney, boys.
And he's 6'2", 270, so that's what he's talking about. He's not really tall enough to be a lineman, but yet he's too big to be a linebacker.
Dwight Freeney doesn't have a position.
But all Upshaw did at Bama was make tackles and make plays. So
he did. I don't know. I kind of agree with him. I kind of don't. You can Upshaw, and I hate to say this.
Well, we hate him though. We hate Alabama.
We do. But he has a ton of heart, and he's a mean dude on the field. And if you combine those two, then he can go. He can do a lot of things.
And when asked about the national championship trophy, he said, "quote Touch that thing, folks.
Touch that thing, folks."
But here again, and B.J. touched on this. You can be the greatest player in the world, but when that bell rings, who works the hardest? Who prepares the hardest? And that's true with a lineman, any other position in the NFL, isn't it, B.J.?
Absolutely. Preparation is key. It goes a long way to have athletic ability, but at the same time, you have to understand what you're doing, what the other people around you are doing.
How you handle your life outside the
Absolutely.
So much.
Character, it's huge.
I don't care who you are, you're not getting the NFL just on athletic ability.
No doubt.
All right, we got JR before we break here. Welcome to Sport Talk and Talk Radio. JR, how are you?
This is I'm first-time caller J.R. Ransom.
Hey, J.R. Ransom, welcome to the Talk Monster.
Well, first-time caller, and I just wanted to say congrats to B.J. Coleman. I don't know if he recalls, but I've officiated 2 or 3 of his games back when he played for Macaulay, and then also want to put in a plug in that my in-laws live right next, not next door, but right across the street from him. So we will be looking for that crowd when he's got all his friends and families at his home gathering and everything. So we'll be right across the street. So tell him to look out the window and wait.
Hey, JR, I appreciate it. Something free. Get down there and get a free meal.
Listen, yeah, come on up. We'll probably have plenty of hamburgers and hot dogs, and we'll even let you weed eat while I mow the yard.
Oh, yeah, I'll take care of it. I'm sure Dad will have me in the yard tonight anyway.
No, B.J., congratulations. And listen, I'll tell you what. Let me tell one little small story about B.J. It was Christmas Day. I don't know if you recall, and this is when you had the other coach over there, Lane Kiffin, and you came over and surprised the nephews. And I tell you what, that's just little things like that mean a lot. And so we appreciate it, and we're wishing you the best.
Thank you, JR. Appreciate it.
Good stuff. Thanks.
He wasn't that ref that threw that phantom grounding call on you back in the day, was he? He's not allowed over the house if he's done that. Sport Talk, pause for the cause. More with B.J. Coleman. And
you know what? We could probably have a whole show on stories like that.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Not the bad ones, the good ones.
And if you're just joining us, we'll kind of recap a little bit of the questions that we asked him earlier in the show. But it's B.J. Coleman, our special guest, and soon to be drafted in the National Football League.
I have a team in mind.
You may be wearing the hat right now there, Raider Boy.
I could be. I know you have a team in mind.
I do. A little bit of black and gold.
What about you, Doctor? I mean, you know.
I do.
You're
and I asked B.J. about it. Not, well,
Falcons?
I know it's not going to be the Titans.
No.
But Falcons, because I kind of like him close to home.
And Matt Ryan's backup.
I get a ticket down there.
Matt Ryan's backup's as old as I am. So.
Yeah, we were talking about that. So.
Well, BJ's not competing to be a backup. I mean, he wants to be a starter.
No, but you got to get in
that
there.
Ryan kid out.
Yeah, what's he done?
Sport Talk returns, WGW, and coming up during the break here, we've got your Right Now Traffic with Sean Paul, informing us all. It's Talk Radio 102.3.
Man, I've been working too hard, 10-hour days, and I'm tired.
5:18, it is Sport Talk. Doc Quake, Cowboy Joe, B.J. Coleman, former Chattanooga Mocs quarterback, soon-to-be NFL quarterback, in the house with us here, and your phone calls are welcome, 267-1023, 267-1023. And just recap, first of all, B.J., you're going to be throwing out the first pitch for the Chattanooga Lookouts tomorrow night there at AT&T Field. That's a good honor.
That's awesome. I really appreciate the Lookouts and Mr. John asking me to do it. They've invited my family down and got us a little spot up there. Going to have a TV there, so we'll be able to watch the draft up in one of the sky boxes and the fireworks and the whole nine. So we'll have a good time.
So if you're at the Lookouts tomorrow night and you hear this big eruption in one box, there's probably a good chance you were just drafted.
That could be us, or they bring food up there. One of the two.
Same celebration. Right?
That's exactly.
Well, if I'm there and they stop the game, I'm on the way.
Yeah,
I'll be up there. I'll get me a hot dog out of you.
Come on, man.
There you go. Questions most asked. What team is it going to be? Just react and how you answer these questions when you're on the street and somebody stops.
Sure.
What team's it going to be, BJ?
Yeah, when you shoot, man. I've been called, like I said earlier, by about 25 different ball clubs, and there are some spots I think I've got in mind that I'd like to land. And for sometimes it may not be the best team, but it'd be the best fit for me. Mm-hmm. So we'll see what happens. I think I've got a couple of them in mind, and I'll tell you my predictions after everything happens.
And you used this term, and I thought it very fair out in the kitchen earlier. You said, all I want's a uniform.
All I want's a uniform.
And in reality, that's exactly what it is.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Also, how much does it mean that your style is, let's say you're drafting, you want, they've got a starting quarterback, you go in, that your style kind of suits that starter. Does that mean a lot to you, or does it not matter, or what?
Oh, I think it's huge. I think if you and the guy that's in front of you, and he's a seasoned vet, and if his game is a lot like what you do, I think it's huge because you can take his tendencies, what he's learned, you can learn from the journey he's taken, and you can use a part of that as your game as well. You obviously don't want to try and emulate that guy, but what he does, I think is
Matt
huge.
Ryan.
Matt Ryan is great.
You used the example of Aaron Rodgers. You knew when working out with Favre in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, that you knew Aaron Rodgers had been watching Favre and sitting behind him because he took what Favre did well and brought it to his game, and then obviously an NFL Super Bowl MVP quarterback.
I think Aaron Rodgers even wears his chin strap the same as Brett Favre. He unbuttons it the same, and but that's what you're supposed to do. You want to learn from those type guys, and you watch how they take care of their business when they show up early and they leave late, and those are the good ones. I mean, those are the guys who really care about what they do. It's a business to them. It's a job. It's how they put the food in their families'
Did you ask Favre about unbuttoning it every single play?
No, I didn't ever ask him that question.
Do you do that?
No.
I thought that's weird. Every time I saw him do that, I'm like, why? He'll unbutton it, and then he gets the play from the sideline, and he buttons it back. It's like, why? Why? He didn't take it off or anything?
Maybe he felt like he was going to work when he buttoned it.
Nervous habit, I guess. Yeah, that's it, going to work.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Flat Top on the line with us. Welcome to Sport Talk and Talk Radio Flat Top.
Hello, Mr. Coleman.
Hello.
I'd like to say I found you very helpful and friendly when you first came to the UTC Mocks. We had brought some material down there to get you to autograph that was ball material. You were very agreeable to sign whatever we wanted signed. And I was just wondering, what was your opinion of Lane Kiffin, and do you think you were given a fair shot there? I know you decided to leave the UT while he was there.
Well, I think the biggest thing I really enjoyed my time up at UT. I have some great friends that I still keep in contact with. I think, but the biggest thing is I wanted to play football, and Coach Kiffin had decided to go in a different direction, and I felt like the best thing for me was to come down here with Coach Huseman, Coach Satterfield, and it really turns out that it was the best decision I could have ever made in terms of my career.
And he could have just as easily gone in your direction. You just don't know. They got to make a decision.
Absolutely.
Just having seen you in the orange and white game that year, I thought you were much better than Sims, and I couldn't understand the direction that they did go.
Well, Sims wasn't there yet.
I'm sorry, not Crompton.
Yeah, it was John. Yep. Yeah. But it was fun. I really enjoyed the ride. But sometimes that's how it ends up.
Good luck in the NFL.
Thank you, Flat Top.
Didn't hurt you any?
No. Very
good
very
things
pleased.
happen.
That's right.
For a reason. Yeah.
267-1023, 267-1023. Just your workout, your finger fracture that you had. I mean, all these things are kind of added up. And you were mentioning earlier, from the time your junior season ends, you're working out all, my last season in college, and it's your season, and then your training, and then your combine, then your draft. It's all this big whirlwind that's been going on for, probably year and a half, 2 years.
Oh, no doubt. It's one of those, you're grinding from that last day you finish up. That junior season, you're working hard through the summer, and you're really making a push to have a great senior year. Once senior year's over, I left December 26th for Hattiesburg, Mississippi. And it was a 4-month grind, push 2 days a week, or two times a day, 5 days a week working out down in Hattiesburg. So we really got everything possibly I could out of it. I put on weight, feel very good.
What is your exact weight?
My exact weight right now is about 231 pounds.
And how tall?
I'm 6'3" 3/8. I had the 3/8 in there.
I
like it.
Well, that's barefoot, no shoes, no socks.
I'm pretty close to his weight. I'm not 6'2", 6'3", but we're good. We're good.
Oh, yeah, you can make it.
That's right. He'd be a fullback. He's got some guns now.
Lineman. I'll stick with lineman.
He's a pulling guard.
There you go. Jared, welcome to Sport Talk and Talk Radio. Jared, how are you?
I'm doing great, sir. How about yourself?
We're doing good. Are you ready for?
I'd call in and see how we were doing.
Are you ready for an NFL draft, sir?
Absolutely, sir. We're really excited here in the Coleman household. Me and one of BJ's good friends, Andrew, is right here, sitting at the house, listening to a little Sport Talk. We enjoy y'all's show very, very much, and we appreciate everything y'all do.
As you guys can probably tell, that's the character of the family. that's the character of the family.
Where did you go wrong, BJ?
You're not kidding.
Tell him, Jared.
Hey, watch it now. We're going to get a little too X-rated on
So,
him.
Jared, he says that you're the most nervous in the family. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I'm more nervous than BJ. I lose a lot more sleep over it than anybody.
What are your thoughts about it? Just where he goes, or what round he goes? I mean, what are you most concerned about?
You know what, sir? It's just for me, it's more of a concern of the right fit. And then I feel like BJ's going to fit in anywhere he goes. And, he can go wherever and do great things. And we're just looking forward to seeing him get a shot and just making a good run of it. And we're excited to see it. And Chattanooga's excited. And we're proud to say that he's a true Mock in Chattanooga. And we're looking forward to it.
We're looking forward to seeing you on the field there for the Mocks this coming year, too.
Absolutely. We're continuing to grow, and we got a lot of young guys. And I had Jacob and Terrell on the radio the other day, and They're phenomenal guys. And I speak the world of them and love them to death, and looking forward to having a big year.
So Mom wouldn't come on. BJ said your mom just wouldn't come on with us, so we got you, I guess, right?
Absolutely.
Can y'all see the resemblance in mannerisms?
She's the head of the family.
We got the same type of mannerisms.
Oh yeah,
as you guys.
I think he's copied your delivery there.
Well, we'll go with that. I was about to say he probably will say that he taught me that.
Jared taught him everything he knows, right, Jared?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you keep the food warm, Jay. I'll be home in a few minutes, man.
No, you don't need none of this food now.
He says he's cutting grass tonight, Jared. Is that true?
I'll probably make Jared do it.
Yep.
The younger one.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Jared, thank you.
He put me out there on it.
Thanks, Jared. We appreciate it, buddy.
See you, bud.
All right,
and congratulations to you, too. As a little brother, it's got to mean a lot, man. Seeing your big brother go through that. That's cool.
He's my number one fan. I'm his, and we've been there for every step of the way.
Mm-hmm.
We've grown up as brothers now. I mean,
I
there's
understand
no
that.
doubt
And way back, did you shoo him off?
Oh no!
Was
Actually,
he a pest?
Really, he wasn't. He was a guy that he was my best friend. He was somebody that was always right there. He was as big as all of us. I mean, he was.
So he was a bodyguard.
He was as big as we all were. So he was always hanging in there and doing the things we were. And
any backyard games?
Oh man, we played everything you can think of. I mean, we played tackle football on a trampoline all the way to wiffle ball. I mean, we've done it all. So we had a good time.
That makes that bull in the ring a lot better with the trampoline.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's going to be painful to fall out of there, right?
Oh, you don't want to hit one of them springs. Let me tell you that.
BJ, we're huge fans, buddy.
Hey, pleasure, guys. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Good luck, and
you're about to do something that thousands of kids out there dream of doing. And
kids, I'm 43. I'm jealous.
You are a kid. Come on. But man, congratulations. I hope there's no reason you can't have a 10+ year career in the NFL. There's no reason.
Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Y'all just keep this seat warm for me next year when I come home.
Oh, we're going to have it. I'm going to pester the heck out of you.
Listen, we got all these stars now. You and Healy and Sat.
Oh, here we go.
Jared and Terrell and Thomas Brown. They're just taking our spot.
Hey, Chattanooga's taking off, baby. It's taking off.
It really is.
That's the best thing that can happen.
You got Harris English and golf. You got all this Chattanooga ties that are really getting hot here. So congratulations again, my man.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Quick break. We're coming back. We're going to talk with Coach Frank Reed from Chattanooga's Lady Mocs. They've got a senior weekend that's coming up, their final weekend at home for the regular season. And also we're going to hit your sports headlines, which will include a push to a Final Four in college football, Doctor.
I
remember 1,000 times you saying, ain't going to happen in my lifetime.
Mike.
Cat Daddy, it's going to happen in your lifetime,
I'm
baby.
in better shape. I'm going to make sure it does.
That's right. There you go. Coming right back, yes, you got Sean Paul.
I was about to say he's going to send an email, but he don't do that. So
No.
I'll send a letter.
That's right. When he gets on Twitter, when either one of us get on Twitter, that's when you're going to pass out.
But I still want to go to 16, and that won't be in my life.
Well, you can't. Get a crawl before you can walk, my man. Sean Paul traffic coming up right now. Traffic on the way. It's Sport Talk and WGOW.